skating. We've got an action-packed show for you, which is good because then you can treat yourself to a donut on this episode of Go West Coast.
Coming up, swords, spears, and arrows, oh my. The tourist company on Grouse Mountain. And yummy donuts.
Well, we make everything by hand, so all our doughs, all our jams, all our glazes are all made in-house.
Welcome to Go West Coast, only on Shaw TV. I'm Tiffany Gurdon. Now we've got a lot of action-packed stories for you in this episode, which is good because we've got some really sweet and sticky donut action going on behind us. We're here at Lucky's Donuts in East Vancouver, where they make all of their sweet and delicious treats right here in store. And recently they've hit a major milestone. Smells so good in here. Thanks for joining me, Coulter.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, you say you've recently manufactured your 1 millionth donut. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
And how did you get to a number that big? How long did it take you?
Well, it was 2.5 years. So we opened here in June of 2012. Yeah, we just reached 1 million.
And how do you really know that you actually hit the 1 million?
We have a computer on site here that keeps track of all our sales.
So there's not someone just keeping a tally or anything like that? So to move that many donuts, what makes them so special?
Well, we make everything by hand. So all our doughs, all our jams, all our glazes are all made in-house with no additives or any fake stuff.
And how do you come up with the different flavors?
It's just basically people on staff get ideas and then they just make a donut, and if it works, it works.
Now, being so small and so local, do you get your hands dirty and in on the action?
Yeah, I work here and at our other cafe, so I kind of bounce back and forth between the two and just kind of, keep things organized.
Now, do you know who ate that 1 millionth donut?
We don't. No, it just kind of happened midday, and I wish we did know who it was. That would be pretty special.
Okay, so you've hit the 1 millionth, 2.5 years. What's the next goal then? You've already hit 1 million.
Well, we're going to take this as far as we can. We're always experimenting with new ideas and more extreme donuts. We want to do some more savory items and things like that. So,
yeah. If you ever need a tester, I'm available.
Anytime.
All right, you guys are open all the time. And where are you located?
2902 Main Street, and we're open from 7 till 10 p.m.
Yum. I'll help you get to that 2 millionth donut.
All right.
Thanks, Coulter.
Thanks.
Now, as Coulter said, they are located here on Main Street in Vancouver, and they're open every day, including holidays. You can get more information on their donuts at luckysdonuts.com. Now let's work off some of this sugary goodness with swords, daggers, bows, and arrows. They're not your typical weapons, but they are the weapons of choice in a brand new combat game. Let's check it out.
Swords strike, daggers are thrown, and arrows fly through the air.
Protect the Queen!
It's the battle for Queen's Park in the village of New Westminster. Okay, this is not a real fight, but it's more than just fun and games for this group of people.
We are kind of what happens when you played with swords as a kid and your parents told you to grow up and you just refused.
This is Blake Holmes, the owner of the Proving Grounds Martial Arts Studio and the founder of Melee Combat Games.
So Melee Combat Games is essentially paintball, but you play it without paintball guns and with swords and bows and shields and axes and any other assortment of smashy, stabby things.
And it's a game I'm about to try for the first time.
The activities are physically and mentally intense, or at least that's how the game is described on their waiver that I'm about to sign, so I really don't know what I'm about to get myself into.
Kit up, masks, swords, let's go.
Every player wears a mask and uses a weapon made from condensed foam.
This is it? This is my sword?
That's your sword.
Okay.
Light, maneuverable, was designed for being on a boat.
Well, let's go sailing then.
Before heading into the attack zone, I'm given a few tips on how to use my sword.
So I'm going to throw a cut on this side. Try just sticking your sword straight out.
I think once I get out there, I'm just going to forget all of this. And I'm just going to be like, ah!
Over at Queen's Park, we're briefed with the rules.
When you hear me yell, go! Run and kill each other.
And then sent into battle.
3, 2, 1, go! Very few people are willing to admit it, but they're afraid to use a sword.
I don't even know what to do right now. I'm just like so nervous.
I get to leave an impression on people of getting them past something that at one point in their life they probably never thought they would do.
Oh no.
I learned very quickly that my short sword would not stand up well against a bow and arrow. Or a spear. Or skilled martial artists like Krista and Kevin Gibbard, siblings who train at the Proving Grounds.
When we get into martial arts with, just our fists and kicks and things, it often becomes very serious, and it's a little bit more about self-defense. And when we're using swords, we can forget about self-defense, because we're not going to be attacked by a sword on the street.
We played a variety of short games, each lasting about 5 minutes long.
That's game!
Although the weapons we're using have a medieval feel, Blake says it's very different from LARPing, which stands for live action roleplay.
The main focus in LARP is on fantasy and community. None of that exists in melee combat games. It's just swords, bows, and killing people.
Right now, melee combat games is played in and around New Westminster, but Blake says he would like to see it become a mainstream sport similar to paintball.
It's great exercise, it teaches people how to move without hurting yourself, and I think it's really fun.
In New Westminster, I'm Jen Moranitz for Go West Coast.
Now, not only did Jen get to try the game out, but her camera operator Ping got involved in the action as well. If you'd like to get in on playing the game, it happens every Saturday in New Westminster. You can check out their Facebook page, Melee Combat Games, for more details. Now stick around, we've got a lot more action-packed stories for you coming up.
Later in the show, cycling for life.
It kind of went from hopelessness to hope.
And making Canada's game accessible to kids.
Just looking to pass off their old skates they've got.
You're watching Go.
Hi, I'm Suzette Lochla, Executive Director and Founder of Vancouver WebFest. This year's Vancouver WebFest will take place March 6th to 8th on Granville Island at Performance Works. Make sure you come down. We've got workshops all day Friday. We've got a Friday night party and screenings. We've got Saturdays filled with panels. We've got live shows with Super Geeked Up. Bernie Sue is our keynote speaker. We've got a huge party on Saturday night with Frostbite Pictures. We've also got an amazing awards gala taking place Sunday night. So make sure you come by. Sunday night's award gala will take place at 7 p.m. and make sure you dress up for the occasion. We'd love to see you down there. Go to our website, www.vancouverwebfest.com. Look forward to seeing you.
Welcome back to Go West Coast, only on Shaw TV. Now, with all of the sugary goodness going on behind us, let's keep going with the athletic stories. It's an athlete's worst nightmare, waking up and realizing you're paralyzed from the waist down. Let's now head up to Pemberton, where one cycler is actually bringing awareness to an unknown disease, one pedal at a time.
I bought my bike in 1983. It's a Nishiki Continental. The frame, the handlebars, they're all original. It's what I'm comfortable on.
A comfort Garth Reese wouldn't trade for the world. The Pemberton triathlete pumping his baby up for his daily ride around town. With no car, it's these two wheels Reese has come to rely and have the best memories on, logging over 200,000 kilometers cycling through North America, Australia, Europe, and Asia over the years.
I love being on the road. I like meeting the people. I like traveling by bike. It's a pretty amazing way to travel.
an amazement and lifestyle that almost got taken away from him, Garth suddenly waking up paralyzed from the neck down 10 years ago.
When I woke up to go to work, I couldn't get out of bed. My arms and legs didn't really work. So I used my chin to pull myself out of bed.
Garth diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, a disorder where the body's immune system attacks part of the brain and spinal cord's nerves, affecting 1 in 100,000 people with no early way to diagnose or cure. As the rider spent the next year and a half housebound, slowly regaining back his mobility, his body may have been crippled, but not his spirit.
Most of the time, I wasn't dwelling on my illness. I was wanting to be better, trying to figure out how to be better. Writing really helped take my mind off of it. It helps you escape where you are. Other people use booze and drugs for that, I guess. I use writing.
The lifelong reader writing fiction novels as his health continued to improve, getting back on the bike competing in triathlons a few years later. As he began to put his darker years behind him, it was there his past and future collided.
I had started encountering other people with the disease. When telling them what I had done, Australia, New Zealand, and triathlons and everything, I saw a change in this person's eyes. It kind of went from hopelessness to hope.
And with that, Garth Rides for Hope was born, cycling from Pemberton to South America, raising awareness about Guillain-Barré syndrome in September 2012. The 62-year-old turning to his now other passion to raise funds along the 2,000-kilometer trek.
I thought, well, here's the deal. I'll raise public awareness in any way I can, and if anybody makes a donation, I'll give them a book. So I'm selling books, but in the name of charity.
Garth's message of hope and dedication to finding a diagnosis tool gaining speed each city he cycled through, sharing his journey speaking at local hospitals, libraries, as well as people's homes on his blog and Facebook page, with some reaching out as far away as Texas.
A lady, her husband got in touch with me in email and said, can you talk to my wife? She just got Guillain-Barré syndrome. So the internet brings us all closer together. It just takes that one person that's going to give me a connection to a lot of funds or to somebody who will research the idea for the diagnostic tool.
Garth continuing to spread that message, cycling from Winnipeg to Texas 2 years ago. With over $2,000 raised so far and plans to trek through Beijing or Russia later this spring, it's a cause and new life's purpose that can't get any closer to the heart.
Basically, that's kind of what I've dedicated my life to now. I travel and then I run out of money and then I come back to the Pemberton area, hang out with my sons and grandsons and take whatever jobs I can find to raise enough money to go again.
His beloved Ashiki Continental with him every kilometer of the way, each pedal one step closer to a cure. As for when he'll stop?
When I can't ride anymore. So that's when my body forces me to stop.
I'm Vanessa Ibarra in Pemberton for Shaw TV.
What a determined and inspiring individual. And now let's move from cycling to skating. Kids' activities can be quite costly, in particular, the good old hockey game. But Dunya Tosi introduces us to a program that's making hockey more accessible to kids across the country.
I always had the opportunity to skate as a kid. There you go. You want to throw it in the box?
And just like many Canadians, Evan Costner lived and breathed hockey.
I was privileged enough to have a few rinks right behind my school growing up and being able to go play shinny after school.
He was one of the lucky ones who could afford to play, but he realized that many others couldn't.
Hockey is a really expensive sport. You've got new equipment often yearly when you're growing as a kid. You've got different equipment fees. You've got fees associated with actually playing the sport and or touring around.
And that's what prompted Evan to create the program Skate to Great.
Skate to Great was started in 2011 out of an idea to collect skates for deserving kids and at-risk youth across Canada.
The objective was to eliminate financial and physical barriers that prohibit some kids from taking part in Canada's favorite sport.
We think that skating should be a right and not a privilege for every kid in Canada. And we see far too often that financial circumstances or physical disability becomes a barrier.
And he's able to do that through support from many people and organizations, including the Vancouver Canucks legend, Kirk McLean.
It's a good way to start, and there's a lot of unfortunate kids out there that are unable to afford a pair of skates, whether they're used or not, and this certainly gives them an opportunity to be able to lace them up and get out on the ice to see how they like it.
Since we began, I can't tell you how many mothers have been just looking to pass off their old skates. They've got skates kicking around in the basement. There's lots of families across Canada. There's lots of hockey clubs, and all it takes is one person.
A person like Evan who's inspiring a new generation of hockey legends. In Richmond, I'm Dania Tozy for Go West Coast.
High five! Yeah!
To get more on this program, visit skatetogreat.org. Now stay with us, we've got more stories coming right up.
Still to come,
Hey everybody, let's have some fun.
not so blues in the Fraser Valley, and the tourist company being tourists.
Hi, I'm Lisa Adams, Director of Operations and Sales at Flyover Canada. And in celebration of Chinese New Year and the Year of the Sheep, Flyover Canada celebrates the anticipated return of Flight of the Dragon. This breathtaking entertainment attraction is the only one of its kind in the country and gives riders the incredible experience of soaring over China. The ride will take guests over the electrifying city of Shanghai, the snow-peaked Himalayas, and the majestic Great Wall, before immediately lifting off again for an iconic flight over Canada as part of this limited time engagement. Flight of the Dragon is on now until March 5th at Canada Place. For more information and tickets, please visit our website, flyovercanada.com.
Thanks again for joining us on Go West Coast from Lucky's Doughnuts in East Vancouver. Now to some, blues can be a depressing genre of music, but there's a new group in Abbotsford that's hoping to change that around.
We felt that the younger generation was missing out on an awful lot of blues-style music without realizing it, because their perception of blues is that it is cry-in-your-beer type of music.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. You're born at once, and when you're dead, you're gone. Good time roll.
And even though in some cases that can be true, the majority of blues music is surprisingly upbeat. In fact, if it wasn't for the blues, musicians like Garth Brooks, Jay-Z, and even the Beatles would simply not exist. So in order to keep music history alive, Cora Price has created the Fraser Valley Blues Society.
We held our first event in April of 2014, so we've been going a little less than a year. We've had 4 musical events so far with live musicians, ticketed events, and we've been holding a blues jam session on a Friday evening. This is our 8th one.
And to kick off the jam night, Cora has brought bluesman James Thorhog from Maple Ridge.
I've always been into the blues ever since I was a teenager. Just something about it really resonated with me. And over the years, I've listened to and tried to copy all the wonderful players that have laid down the legacy of the blues. All, Freddie King and B.B. King and Albert Collins and all those guys. But I've also explored other genres. I've been into jazz for quite a while.
Mixing styles and influences is what the blues are all about, which is why to James, the jam nights are an event he continues to look forward to.
The best thing you can do as a musician is to listen to what everybody else is doing. If you're just doing your own thing, then I don't think you're really connecting with the music. So listening to the other players and trying to find your spot in that mix. That is what jamming is all about. And that's what really any kind of ensemble music playing is about, finding your spot that makes the music sound better.
Abbotsford proper has not had the opportunity to have a true blues jam session. So we get a wide variety of musicians coming out. We've had saxophones and harmonicas and drums and guitar and keyboards and organs. So you get a wide variety of musicians who love music. That's what I love about the blues in particular, is that it tends to be a passion.
And if you'd like to see that passion come to life, then check out the next concert or jam session listed on their website. At the Eagles Hall in Abbotsford, I'm Danny Gonsalves for Go West Coast.
Now, if you're interested in blues music, one of the biggest events in the Lower Mainland is the Burnaby Blues and Roots Festival, which happens every August in Deer Lake Park. Now, we're not in Deer Lake Park for this next story, but we are high atop Grouse Mountain. That's where Paul McClellan met one of the top 3 finishers of this past year's Peak Performance Project. Let's meet the tourist company.
The tourist company are a group of friends who play music together a lot, and we love it. Hey!
Just up the road from where a lot of the band lives, we met the tourist company on Grouse Mountain, where they performed a song off their latest EP. Since forming in 2013, they've released an album and 2 EPs, and they're not slowing down at all, with a new record in the works.
We rationed every breath, staved off the common thread.
3 of you are living on the North Shore right now. You're all from all over the place, though, and you're called the tourist company. Sort of, how did you unite from different corners of the earth to this spot?
We all actually met working up at a summer camp up on the Sunshine Coast called Keats Camps. And that's kind of the magnet that drew us all together, was that camp. And so otherwise, I don't know how our paths would have crossed from very different backgrounds. Like, I grew up mostly in Ontario, and then I'm from White Rock. Jill was born in South Africa. Brennan's from Tucson, Arizona, and Josue spent most of his time growing up in Mexico and in Portland. So pretty eclectic.
We took flight, but we want more. This world has lost its charm. We need a change of the scene. Start this race, begin it now. Fate lies beyond the clouds. We're never turning back.
Been to your live shows before a couple of times. You get a lot of folks singing along, dancing, but I've also heard you say your music isn't super dancey. How do you make that work so well?
I don't understand how people danced along to a lot of our music. I can't dance to it, hence why my moves on stage are very interesting.
Underneath the kind of weirdness of a lot of our songs, we intentionally try to write in something that's kind of hooky and something that people can grab onto. So the more free-spirited folk, we usually stand in the front, have something to kind of dance and move to, and we try our best to give off as much energy as we can, because if they give it back, then we feed off of that. It's kind of this awesome cycle of give and take, and people tend to really get into it.
So long, so long, so long, so.
We will make it big because of Jill's hair. Jill's hair she's like a lioness with just massive, like her hair at live shows just whips around, and I feel like all the boys are swooning, and so if we get anywhere, it'll be because of Jill's hair, for sure.
Keep an eye on the band's progress with that new record at thetouristcompany.ca. At Grouse Mountain, I'm Paul McClellan for Go West Coast.
That story was shot on one of the trails near the top of the gondola ride, and the fog cleared just in time for Paul to shoot the band. Now, if you'd like to get a free download of one of their singles, visit them online at thetouristcompany.bandcamp.com. Now, from the top of Grouse Mountain, let's meet up with Paul again, but this time down in the streets of Vancouver.
When was the last time you tried something new, and what was it?
Nothing really new as of right. Well, I tried Starbucks' new flat white. That was pretty awesome.
It was good.
Yeah, I'll do a little shout out for the company I work for. Why not, right?
Probably last year we went to Mexico. I had never been there before.
How was it?
It was cool. It was beautiful. We were in the Caribbean. My 15-year-old got a scuba certificate.
Last time I tried something new was last week.
Last week, what did you try?
I was doing a dance routine and my teacher my choreographer tried to teach me a trick, so it was pretty tough.
Did you pull it off?
No.
Well, better luck next time.
Yeah.
Try something new. Actually, you know what I did the other day? I did laser tag. I'd never done laser tag in my life. It was my daughter's birthday and I decided to join them and it was so much fun.
What did I try? Well, this past year I became a mother, so I tried motherhood for the first time and it's fantastic.
That expression made me start to doubt you.
You know what? No, it's fantastic. It's great.
I tried parting my hair a different way recently, and I didn't like it, so I will never do it again.
But you tried something new.
Yeah, and it was terrible, but I don't know, I just had to do it, I guess.
Tell us something you've recently tried. You can write on our Facebook wall or you can tweet us at Go West Coast TV. And if you have any story ideas for us, please send them along. Email gowestcoast@shaw.ca. Now we want to thank Lucky's Doughnuts for having us in-store on-site today. You can find them here on Main Street or online at luckysdoughnuts.com. And of course, thank you to you for watching at home as well. Now I think I'm going to help them reach their 2 millionth donut.